Welcome to the AM News. Now, let's start from the Upper West region, where the Upper West Regional Minister Alhaji Al-Hassan Suleimani has called for a periodic review of the Ghana Household Register to reflect current trends. He said this will not only make it credible, but will enable governments and other development agencies to reach their intended beneficiaries. Now, Alhaji Suleimani made the statement in a speech read on his behalf by the Chief Director of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council at a day's workshop on the Ghana National Household Registry in Wa. Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from there.
The concept of social protection is simple: the amalgamation of policies and programs geared towards poverty reduction, provision of support for the vulnerable groups in society, mitigate people's exposure to risks, and also enhancing their capacity to manage economic and social risks, among others. The idea of social protection came to the fore as Ghana became a lower middle income country in 2011. This status triggered the idea of equitable distribution of the country's wealth through flagship programs. The bottom line is to bridge the gap of inequalities within society and, by extension, giving voice to the voiceless. The Ghana Household Registry was therefore launched in 2015 with the intention to make the social protection system more effective and efficient by reducing duplicated efforts, especially in the area of beneficiary selection. The existence of a single registry will mean that social protection programs such as the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty (LEAP) will directly select beneficiaries from the single national registry. This reduces the effort required by programs in data collection and beneficiary selection, making them more efficient thereof. At a day's sensitization workshop in Wa, Upper West Regional Minister Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan, in a speech read on his behalf by the Chief Director of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, Alhaji Abu Bakar Abdullahi, called for a periodic review and update of the register.
This can be achieved through constant surveys and periodic monitoring of households to determine the level of changes in the variables of the data so collected. This will present an opportunity for government and even local authorities to also assess the successes gained in the fight against poverty. This will also help in identifying challenges in the implementation of proper policies.
Acting National Coordinator of the GNHR, Dr. Prosper Larry, gave an overview of what they have done so far in the Upper West and East regions.
135,000 households in Upper West were enumerated, and a total population of about 618,000. And for the phase 2, my last check for Upper East, we had done close to 184,546 households, and with a household member population of about 1,056,000, a little over the 2010 project. We will have a demographic data in which we have even household members with disability. This data is available, meaning that you can get it for each district, and you are able to tell members with disability. The poverty categorization is also there. Household members with ID cards, through that you are able to know those with valid NHIS cards.
A director at the head of local government service, Dr. Charles Casey, reading a speech on behalf of the Director General of Local Government Service, noted with excitement the benefit that the local government service and other institutions will derive from the GNHR. The participants, drawn mostly from the academia, were happy with the implementation of the program, which they believe will inure to their benefits. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
To the Ashanti region next, and Lands and Natural Resource Minister has given the strongest of indication the ban on small-scale mining could soon be lifted. John Peter Amewu has told the chiefs and people of Dankwa in the central region a roadmap which provides alternative livelihood to miners and also ensures sustainable mining to be followed by the lifting of the ban as being implemented to the letter. Ohiming reports.
Government placed a ban on small-scale mining in June last year, following the destruction of water bodies, land and application of harmful chemicals such as mercury and cyanide in small-scale mining. Government, with the support of World Bank and other international organizations, has introduced sustainable livelihood programs to provide alternative livelihood to small-scale miners. It comes as government introduced sustainable mining training program for miners. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, says over 1,000 small-scale miners have benefited from the training. He told members of the Densha Traditional Council government will soon lift the ban on small-scale mining.
His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, it's not against mining. What he's saying is that we will need to do the mining in a more sustainable and responsible manner. Health concerns or health issues are becoming very critical for this country. Applications of mercury is very dangerous to our own health issues. Toxic metals in our products, in our cocoa farms, in areas that we undertake farming activities is becoming a problem to this country. And so if anybody wants to undertake mining, this government is saying that you must do the mining in a more sustainable manner. It's not going to be too long. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will be lifting the ban on the mining. But before that is done, he expects certain things to be put in order, which is the road map leading to the lifting of the ban. I can assure you that our president here today is part of that roadmap.
Mr. Amewu has been visiting some departments and agencies under his ministry in Ashanti and Central regions. He also inspected Richie plantations in Dunkwao, where 2 million oil palm seedlings will be supplied to miners free of charge as part of the Alternative Livelihood Program. He wants small-scale miners to take advantage of the project to improve their lot.
Very soon, we will be distributing the seedlings to communities, youth and young ones that are interested in undertaking this farming project. It is on that note that we are paying a courtesy call on you, also to encourage you to talk to the young ones in the community, that the seedlings will be distributed free of charge. It is a government agenda.
Meanwhile, new law courts are expected to be built in hotspots noted for illegal mining activities as part of efforts to clamp down on the menace. Construction work on initial 3 cores is expected to start under the multi-sectoral mining integrated project. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Peter John Amewu, who disclosed it to journalists, says the project is being implemented with the support of Justice and Attorney General's Ministry.
One of the components of the MIP is to deepen legal and law enforcement. And so we're having engagement with the CJ, and one of their requests is to help them in establishing more court at the district levels. So the MDF, has taken that responsibility, and we're going to build some number of courts, to assist the CJ in their daily activity in terms of the districts, to support for the district. The district courts normally are to be built by the district assemblies, and so we are going to support them through the MDF, as a request from the CJ to make sure that these things are done.
From Kumasi for JoyNews, Ohiming reporting.
home interior there, but still in the Ashanti region. Repayment plan for a loan contracted to rebuild the Kejetia Central Market in Kumasi is likely to be in jeopardy following delay in completion of the project. Government's plan is to repay the $259 million loan with funds to be realized from the market. Unfortunately, completion of the first phase of the project is behind schedule, though the start date to repay the loan is drawing near. Touring the project site in Kumasi, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Local Government and Rural Development expressed worry over the delay and its implication on the loan repayment. Nanaya Jima was there with members of the committee and now reports.
The delay in execution of the project hinges directly on litigation on structures earmarked for demolition to aid completion. They include this structure sited few meters from one of the entrances to the Kejetia enclave, blocking access to roads and drainage systems. It causes the ground floor of the new market to flood whenever it rains. Another sits few meters from an area designated for electrical systems for the new market. Though various attempts have been made to demolish these buildings, they continue to stand, impeding completion of the project. Even orders from the Kumasi Traditional Council to demolish the building are yet to yield any results. Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Local Government, Kennedy Oseinyako, after inspecting the project, said the new market will have to be completed and handed over to city authorities by end of September this year.
The contractor, the consultant, they should be a must. Make sure the project is ready and give it to the people, because we can no longer wait for any more months or more years. No, they have to finish it. I'm sure there's a major work that is going on as well. They will put the installation, the electrical part of it, which they say they have done major part of it. They are almost done. We are waiting for them. I'm sure from now to August they should be able to finish it. KMA should be able to take hold of this facility and let the marketers the traders come in so that they can start, because we approved the second phase loan long ago.
At a meeting later in the day, the Parliamentary Committee proposed the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly partner private developers to help pay compensation for demolition. Mr. Oseinyako again
advise them that they should get a couple of investors, let them look at the area, do the assessment, the valuation of those properties that they have to put a factor in, whatever PPP arrangement, and get a private investor to develop them once he paid for itself, because we are waiting for government to make money available to do that. I'm sure government to be very difficult, because we are talking about getting money to do the demolition. After demolition, what next?
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly reveals they are already in talks with a private developer to construct a modern storage car park at the area to reduce pressure on the project. Chief Executive Osei Esibe Entry says plans are far advanced to deal with all obstacles impeding completion.
We are demolishing the project because we want to use that land for a project that is going to commensurate with the existing project that is there. And the most ultimate one has to do with the car parks or car rising parks. So with that, we will now be looking for an investor who will come in, accept the cost, and add the cost with project costs. And at the end of the day, to take the headache out of KME.
Nanaya Ojima reporting.
To the courts now. Bank accounts belonging to former COCOBOD CEO Dr. Stephen Opuni will remain frozen until the end of his trial, unless a higher court overturns the decision of an Accra High Court. Now, Justice Georgina Mensah-Dacha, who has been hearing the case in which Dr. Opuni is demanding access to his accounts, ruled in favor of the Economic and Organized Crime Office on Monday, saying the agency is carrying out its task of protecting state funds. Joseph Akable has more in the following report.
Lawyers on both sides on May 17, 2018 presented their case as to why the court must agree with them. While lawyers for Dr. Opuni wanted access to his accounts, Yoko was all against it, maintaining it may be dissipated if the court grants the request. Justice Georgina Mensah-Dacha afforded the lawyers ample time, each handed a minimum of an hour and a half to argue out the matter. The addresses got heated when lead counsel for Dr. Opuni, Samuel Kujo, expressed his frustration over how Yoko had not opposed the request for defreezing, but returned to the court to obtain a freezing order. He described the investigative body as a monster with no respect for human rights. Yoko's lawyer, Jacqueline Avotri, demanded that the court reprimand the lawyer for describing Yoko in those terms. In a short ruling read on Monday, Justice Mensah Dacha faulted Yoko for the manner it handled the matter. She, however, said the court was inclined to dismiss the request for defreezing as Yoko's mandate is to protect state funds. A member of the former Cocoa Board CEO's legal team, Victor Daudu, told pressmen appealing the decision is an option under consideration.
We'll look at the reasoning. You were there yourself. You saw she did not read. So we'll apply for the ruling and we will take a decision. But we are not surprised because she has that same court has made two different orders. So which one does she validate? Which one does she say it is not right? So the court itself is put in a difficult situation. So we are not surprised. We will look at the reasoning. Then from there we can advise our clients. If the reasoning, we agree with the reasoning, so be it. But if we disagree and we look at the position of the law and we say we disagree, that is why there is the appellate system. That's why the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court is there. So it does not necessary to say that we are human beings. We can always make. But the situation in which this case is involved and the court has made two valid orders, which one does she disown? Which one does she say yes? It's the same court that made two different orders. So we will look at it and see the difficulty that we appreciate. Then we appreciate the facts. So we will advise our client.
The trial of Dr. Opuni is expected to resume on June 11.
And to my last story, medical students at the University of Cape Coast are urging the public to beware of depression, stress and hypertension and embark on regular checkups. According to the medical students, hypertension, depression and stress are the causes of many health complications that result in the deaths of many people in Ghana today. The students gave the advice after weeks of research in remote communities in the central region as part of their community-based experience. Richard Kojanyako has more.
Medical science students at the University of Cape Coast, as part of their training to become medical doctors, are made to go into remote communities in the region, stay with them, carry out research, and study how life is in a rural setting. The students undertake diverse projects that are based on the needs of the communities and execute them to impact on the chosen communities. After this year's community-based experience service that focused on depression, hypertension and stress, the students want the public to embark on regular checkups to avoid health complications.
For this year in particular, for every year we have specific objectives for which we come to check in. For this year in particular, we were looking out for people with depression, anxiety, and people who have issues with stress as well, and also with hypertension. As we're going around with our questionnaire administration and then various scores, we were able to interact with people who had depression. Others also had diabetes, hypertension, and several other chronic ailments, which we advise them on what to do.
Very community, although we encountered some challenges that the indigenous are really letting us know of, maybe the lack of jobs and all that. But even though with this hardship, we didn't really see much of the depression, anxiety, and the stress that probably is in high prevalence in our big cities.
This toilet facility here serves both males and females. The males occupy half of the structure, while their female counterparts occupy the other half. The students, through some contributions and donations from their benefactors, are constructing a proper KVIP toilet facility with modern facilities to help the communities live a healthier lifestyle. Christina Com is a clinical psychologist with the School of Medical Sciences at the University of Cape Coast. He leads the team that goes on the outreach.
As part of our training of future doctors, we send them into the communities to live with the people, understand them, and help them with their health and well-being. And for this year, we have brought the level 400 students to Asin Kushia and other surrounding areas. Where we are at this moment is Asin Abotarie, one of the surrounding villages of Asin Kushia.
Asin Kushia. My name is Richard Kejetia for JoyNews.
Richard Kejetia there. Now, Roland, what's happening on the show today?
Well, we have many things to talk about, but again, let me just remind you, at the Accra Digital Center this Thursday, just in 2 days' time, we're going to have the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, and among others, it's going to be the one-stop platform for you to get technology in health, access to research, many other discussions and many other things. And as always, we make sure that we bring you the best, as this is also going to partner all the best professionals as well as organizations in health to make sure we bring to you the best in educating you about access to health facilities, the things that are needed to improve our health. So it's all coming up, and we hope that we can do many other things. But on the show today, we're going to have great discussions, and Alasan Sahini, Member of Parliament for Tamale North, is going to be joined by his colleague, Andre Japamesa, who is a legal practitioner as well, going to join us from Second D. So we'll have many other things. But we're speaking more health, is that not it?
Yes, and preeclampsia is a pregnancy complication characterized by high blood pressure and signs of damage to another organ system, most often the liver and kidneys, and it usually begins after 20 weeks of pregnancy in women whose blood pressure has been normal.
Yeah, so, well, today is World Eclampsia Day, but we just want to use the period also to do some great education on preeclampsia, but also many other things that pregnant women suffer, especially when they're pregnant. And we hope that you also will be joining us when we have those discussions. We'll open the phone line, so many of you will get to know what really preeclampsia is and what we can do about it as a people. And
Emifad Radosi will roam from a community near you, so stay tuned.
Well, please get interactive through it all. We have Joy News on TV, is our regular page on Facebook, and you can watch us live regularly through our channel, Major Online TV.